So this was how Hiccup found himself. By the way, we're in what chapter are we? Oh, chapter 8 of How to Break a Dragon's Heart. So this is how Hiccup found himself approaching the woods that howled on the back of the Windwalker at 11 o'clock in the evening on the night of a full moon. The forests of the Dark Ages were a fearsome thing. They were not pleasant, airy little woods, but great and terrible jungles, impenetrable in some parts, but spread over vast areas of the mainland to the east, and they were stalked by wolves and bears and wild men who fed on human flesh and dragons so unspeakable that no one dared enter. This was such a forest. That's Hiccup on the Windwalker just there. And there's the forest in the night time. Look at the trees, they look like fingers. It was incredibly dark as they saw through the treetops, but the eye beams of the Windwalker lit their way before them like searchlights. Great swarms of buzzing bees formed and reformed in the eye lights. Every now and then they came across a startled black and white face of a stink dragon. They're a bit like, if you look in the Incomplete Book of Dragons, you can see they're a little bit like skunks, stink dragons. Or a squirrel serpent, surrounded by buzz of furious insects, its muzzle covered in honey. At one point, the Windwalker only just jumped out of the way of a great 50-foot-long bee-eater dragon, drifting calmly through the canopy with its gigantic cave of mouth wide open like an enormous basking shark. Now, do I have a copy of the Complete Book of Dragons? No, I don't. I'll show you another time. Hiccup tried not to think about another deeper noise, however, way down in the blackness. It was the noise that had given their woods their name, the woods that howled, and Hiccup did not want to think about it, not even for a second. But he knew what it was. It was the beast. On through the forest they flew, looking and looking for fish legs. They found nothing but trees, and more trees. And then Hiccup pulled sharply on the reins of the Windwalker as they came across something unexpected up ahead. "What is that?" whispered Hiccup. A slight break in the canopy allowed the dappled moonlight to shine through onto a weird shape hovering in the air beside a large honey tree. It was a shape absolutely covered from head to toe. You can see, by the way, the forest is beginning to kind of close around the edges of the book. And tiny little creatures like large black butterflies clustering thickly and crawling all over it like a living shroud. Over the shape they swarmed, the moonlight shining on their revolting blue bottle wings, and as they moved shimmering they made a noise that Hiccup recognised to be Dragonese. "What is it? What is it? What is it?" they were saying to each other in high little voices like the sighing of ghosts. I don't know, came the weird little replies, and then, "Do I smell fear? I'm sure I smell fear. Shall we taste? Shall we taste?" And then with absolute horror, Hiccup saw two round, terrified eyes staring out of the moving blanket of creatures and realised that the shape was Fish Legs and the Chickenpoxer, hovering in the air, frozen in terror and covered all over in a thick carpet of scarers. The Windwalker drifted forward, petrified. Hiccup had not even had time to think about what he could possibly do when he felt a whir of wings past his ear and a soft plop as something small and furry and fluttery with horrible tiny little mouse claws landed on the back of his neck. And the next chapter is called Scarers. I'll have to have that tomorrow.